Good morning, Miss Wulandari Santoso. My name is Amanda Gaiska Victoria Adin, and today I would like to have a presentation regarding the approaches for teaching listening and vocabulary for my final test. So first of all, we're going to talk about the teaching context. From the case given, we knew that the students are 10th grader in a public school in Jakarta. Most of public school in Jakarta have sufficient technologies such as InFocus and then whiteboards, tables, and so on and so forth. And then students have advanced level of English proficiency and they are actively participate in learning. Many of them learn English from songs, Western songs, movies, and they like to listening to talks, and they could be acquiring it from YouTube. And then the students, because they interacted or they acquire English a lot outside the class, they expect to get interesting listening activities. The type of the listening that I will give to them is, of course, the intensive listening, because the listening is done for the learning purpose. However, we will use some authentic text or authentic audios. The topic of the lesson is discovery and invention. The skill and language system that we will teach is the listening and vocabulary. The number of students is 30 students with a duration of 60 minutes. Next, we're going to talk about the teaching method. I use two teaching methods here. The first one is the cooperative language learning, or CLL, and the second one is communicative language teaching, or CLT. I have 5 reasons why I applied these methods here. First one is because, of course, the class has lots of students. They're public schools, and the time is so limited, so we need activities that can include all the students in short times. And then students are all advanced in English, meaning that they can do some critical thinking task, and they're willing to actively participate in the learning process. Therefore, I believe that a student-centered learning is very suitable for them. The fourth reason is that I will avoid the boring learning. Therefore, I will make them learn unconsciously. I'll make them use English to learn, not learning to use English. And then, so I will make them acquire English through communication in class. Moreover, because listening needs more practice than theoretical learning. Then the fifth reason is that I will be using authentic language and text for task and communication during the class, because yeah, they are on the advanced level of English. And then lastly, students may help each other in terms of translating a word into English in case they don't know it, or they might ask me as well. But all questions should be done in English. This is in line with both method, because this applies the scaffolding principle as well as the principle that they can still use their mother language, but just a little bit. Next, the principles of teaching language skill and system. For listening, I use 3 principles, namely, once may not be enough. I will encourage students to listen as often and as much as possible. Encourage students to respond to the content of a listening, not just the language. So although they are advanced in English, but I believe that they still need repetition in some learning task, because yeah, again, English is not their mother tongue. It's not their first language. And then, just like what I've mentioned in the previous slide, I will make them listen as much as possible and acquiring their listening skills through communication. And then I will encourage students to respond, not of listening, not just the language, because I will be giving them the task that where they have to answer or give the answer of general and specific information. And then for vocabulary, I use inductive principle, because the student, of course, already have high proficiency in English. So the teacher believes that the explicit learning is unnecessary for them. Students already have a good critical thinking skills. Explaining the lesson plan sequence, I'll take the principle of lesson plan from Jeremy Harmer, and according to the principle of teaching listening, the proper sequence is EAS, or engage, activate, and then study. Therefore, I use it. The first thing is engage, and I'll have 15 minutes of engage stage. The first activity that I will do is, of course, introducing myself, my name, educational background, and my age, and then I'll explain the rule, like what I've mentioned in the previous slide, that they can still ask the English of a term that they don't know in English to me or their friends. However, they should ask it in English, like, Miss, what is the English of the penemuan paling mutakhir? And I will give it to them, or their friends will answer it. Then I will trigger their knowledge regarding discovery and invention by asking 3 to 5 random students about what discovery or inventions do they think is the most important or useful for human civilization, and what was the reason, because that's our main theme. For the next 10 minutes, I will give them a whisper race game where no Indonesian language allowed. The class will be divided into 6 groups with 5 person in each. The first round will be like the leader of every group will do home pimpa, and the first one out will be against the second one out from the home pimpa, and then the same way applied to the third and the fourth, as well as the fifth and the sixth. And then the first 2 group out will make 2 lines with 3 meter space between them. So the position is there's 2 lines here facing the back wall of the class, and then the first one, how to play is that the first person the first person will be given the riddle, and then the riddle should be passed by whispering up to the last person near the back wall of the class. Each person has only 3 times to repeat the clue without any Indonesian language to explain or gestures. The last person should guess the answer of the riddle or the question after 2 groups finish their whispering. So if the clue have already arrived to the last person should raise their hand, and the first group to raise their hand is of course the fastest. But I will wait until all groups finish their whispering, and then I will ask them the answer of the clue or the riddle. The fastest group to finish their whispers and then got the answer correct will win the game. If both of the groups didn't find the correct answer, then I will ask anybody in that group who knows the answer. Then the one who knows the answer will be the winner. But if no one knows, then the fastest group will win. The final round, the 3 winners from the first round will be competing in the final round. Debate, I will take 35 minutes for the stage. The first activity they will do is the video quiz for vocab and listening teaching. I will give them a video from YouTube. I will show them a video from YouTube with no subtitles, consisting of 3 short history of inventors and their discovery. And then the teacher will give students 4 questions, 2 questions of general information and 2 questions of specific information regarding the 3 videos. I will show the question in the sample of materials. The question will be shown on the PPT slide, and students should write down the answer in their notebook and then submit it to me. The video will be shown 2 times because they have no subtitle. This is an individual task. And then for the next 20 minutes, we will have a debate. The debate that we will use the group from the whisper race. Group 1, 2, 3 will have the first debate round or debate session, and then 4, 5, 6 will have the second debate session. The rules is that previously everyone have already watched the video given. Therefore, the group side will be divided into by the video, so there's no pros or contras. There's only they will be supporting the inventions. The theme of the debate is from the 3 inventions shown. Which invention do you think is the most useful for human civilization? And group 4 will support the first invention. The group 2 and 5 will support the second one, and the group 3 and 6 will support the third invention. For example, the videos is about about Alexander Graham Bell, and then Thomas Alva Edison, and then the Wright brothers. So the first group and the fourth group will support the Alexander Graham Bell invention. The second and fifth group will support Thomas Alva Edison invention, and the third and the sixth group will support the Wright brothers invention. And then the system is that the groups will be given 3 minutes of preparation for their debate material. First, group leader or the spokesperson will explain the group arguments for 1 minute. Then each group will have a rebuttal to the other group's argument in turn for 2 turns. 1 turn is 30 seconds. And then the teacher will be the moderator, and she will open and close the debate session and allowing students to speak. Lastly, I will have study stage with the duration of 10 minutes. The activity is task reviewing. I will ask students to check on their friends' work in the previous stage. I will give them randomly, so they will check their friends' works. The students will not checking their own works, but they will check their friends' work. The teacher will show the answer key through PPT slides. Student may discuss with me if the answer is slightly different with the answer key, because the question is in the form of essay, not in the choices. Perception might appear, different perception might appear. The teacher will also review some of the vocabulary and language function that the student learned from the video acquired through debate. Agreeing, disagreeing, giving opinion, and debate attitudes, like for example objection and else. So this is these samples of materials in Engage. Previously I said that we will have a whisper race game. So this is the kind of the clue that I will give to them. Be it for the clue of the question of the inventors, or what do they invent. Like for example, in the clue 1 or the clue 2, the answer is Orville and Wilbur Wright. They're Wright brothers, and the clue will be about what did they invent, and then who are they, but they need to guess the name of the inventors. And the fourth clue, the answer is solar panel, but I'll give them the clue about who invented the principles and how it works. Next is the example of materials for activate stage, like I mentioned previously. I will give them a video for the video quiz. So this is the video from Watch Mojo. Why I choose this? It's because it uses authentic language, it uses authentic text, and it's suitable for my teaching. The video is about top 10 famous inventors. However, I will only give them the first 3 minutes and 55 seconds of the video, because it consists 3 inventors and the main focus of the video. The question for the quiz is: first, mention the names of the inventors, explain as well as their invention, explain briefly how did each inventors discover their inventions. How this 2 question is the question with significant information that they need to find from the video. Then the next 2 is the general information required, like for example, which invention do you think the most sophisticated and useful for our civilization, and what is the difference between discovery and inventions? This is a bonus question, but yeah, this is considered as GI, or general information. Lastly, I will explain the scoring criteria for the debate and video quiz. For the debate, I will score their argument relevancy with the video, their rebuttals, the usage of vocabulary from the video or vocabulary richness, then their teamwork. Why did I want to score their arguments relevancy and student rebuttals? Argument relevancy means they listen properly from the video. That's why they give correct or relevant information with the video. And then student rebuttals means they listen to their friends' arguments during the debate, so they give they give relevant rebuttals, they give relevant opinion with what their friends said or their rival said. And then the usage of vocabulary and vocabulary richness is because I want them to use, or I believe it's important for them to use vocabulary that already been taught, and the richer vocabulary they use, of course, the higher score they will get. And for teamwork, I would give 10% for the score. And then the scoring for video quiz, the first 2 question is the question that requires specific information, so therefore it will have 20 points. It will get 20 points if they're correct, and that's for each question. And the last 2 questions is questions that requires general information. I will give 30 points for each. So that's all from me regarding this teaching approaches. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a good day.